We're going to start by looking at GDP growth. So this is the economy's economic growth
I'm not sorry.
for the last 20 years.
Don't give a shit.
And you see, I'm going to split this up into 3 decades. So we had the 90s. In the 90s, economic growth was quite fast. We had about 4 to 5% economic growth. And Australia was growing quite quickly. That's been attributed to lots of things. Strong microeconomic reforms, the strong growth in Asia, the strong Australian dollar making Australia quite competitive internationally. After 2000, pre-GFC, during this period, Australia still grew quite strongly. So on average about 3 to 4%. Sometimes higher, sometimes slower, but generally 3 to 4%. Still quite strong up until the GFC. The GFC came along here. It was quite a big slowdown. There was a slowdown in the year 2000 over here as well, but it was very sharp. It came down very quick. It came down, recovered very quickly. GFC, it came down, it didn't quite recover as much. Okay, so there's a difference. From post-GFC, 2 to 3% economic growth. So you can see in those 3 decades, the economy has been progressively growing slower and slower. It's maturing. It's not quite the fast-growing economy that it used to be. And then we have the Australian budget balance. And here I've got 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, and 4 bars. They indicate which periods or which years Australia had a negative quarter of economic growth. And you can see they correlate with the budget going into deficit, the budget going into deficit, the budget going into deficit, and the budget staying in deficit. And they do tend to correlate with where the budget's at. And you can see it's a very large period of deficit around here. Prior to that, you had quite a few budget surpluses, but these were very much due to the mining boom. After that, you had a big loss of revenue following the GFC.